Hello and welcome to King's Gun Center TV. I'm Todd Cotta. This is Alex, and we're here to bring you a really cool thing today. What we're bringing you today is the Smith & Wesson Challenge.
Okay.
Because they just came out with the newest pistol.
Yeah.
That new pistol is the Smith & Wesson Shield Plus, and we did a review on this about a month ago, and we had some bad things to say about it.
Not very good. Kind of disappointing initially.
Yes, and what we're going to do today is we actually ordered up another one, and we sent the original one back.
We explained the situation to them. I got a hold of them. They were very, very happy to get us squared away. Got us a label immediately, and we got that one shipped back, so good on them. Very good on them. But this one is definitely different from that first one that we got.
Yes, and we talk about that because we do these reviews all the time, and we hate when we get a gun that is bad. We really do, and we wanted to make sure that we were doing it correctly, so we ordered a second one in, and since we had it in, I actually got a hold of a 6-hour 365 SAS and a Hellcat.
Yes.
So why don't we do them all together?
Have fun shooting.
Because the reason why Smith & Wesson made the Plus a 13-rounder was because of the Springfield Hellcat 13-rounder.
Oh, yeah. They had to.
Yes, and it's one of those things that we need to show people because you really don't get an idea of these guns just looking at them in a gun store, but when you take a look at them side by side and then you shoot them side by side, it's a completely different experience.
It should be noteworthy to say that the Hellcat and the SAS are considered micro.
Yes.
And we did put it up against the Smith & Wesson Shield Plus, which would probably be considered a subcompact. But
Yes.
they're pretty darn close, and I think people would probably look at those in the same light overall.
Width-wise, they're about the same. You have a little longer grip on the Smith & Wesson Plus, Shield Plus, but it's the same grip that is on the Smith & Wesson Shield 9, 40, and 45.
Yes.
So they're the same size as any other shield, and they're just about a half-inch longer on the grip than you would see on the Hellcat or the 365.
Yeah.
Right?
Just about.
Well, these are some pictures here of these three guns, and the things we want to point out on the guns is, once again, they are fundamentally the same. They really are the same, but when you look at the triggers are a little bit different.
Yeah. So Hellcat and Smith & Wesson got a nice flat face shield.
Uh-huh.
Really nice. Feels really good, crisp. SIG has a curve. Now, I was telling you earlier that you can get a flat face, but you generally can't get it installed like straight out of the box, which
Sure.
is kind of disappointing, and I agree with you on that. That should be an option that you can get straight out of the box.
Flat triggers and wide triggers, to me, make a more stable shooting platform.
They feel better.
And your finger presses straight back rather than rolling on a rounded trigger. And I have come to love flat trigger systems, whether it's the Apex system and those kinds of things on my Smith & Wesson M&Ps. I just really like the flat triggers. And when you take a look at those three triggers, you're thinking, Springfield and Smith & Wesson were listening, and then now you got to buy extra parts for the 365 if you want that same trigger.
Yeah, that is disappointing. That's something that why just not put it on there just to begin with?
Exactly. Yeah, if you're going to compete head to head with these guys, let's do it.
Exactly.
Yeah. So there are great guns. We're going to go over some of the stats right now with these guns, and we hope that we can kind of do this right. We talked about a little bit more, but specifically the 365 stats are the gun itself is a 10-round gun versus the 13-round options for the Plus from Smith & Wesson and the Hellcat. The weights and the sizes are 5.8 inches, and then you have a 1-inch wide gun. It's just a shade thinner on the shield. And then you have the 4.3 inches tall and long and 3.31 inches tall. So that's the numbers on the 365 over there. And you're going to find the almost identical numbers on the Hellcat. And then the Smith & Wesson, once again, same width, same barrel length. It's just a little longer grip. That's the differences in these guns. Going over to the Smith & Wesson Shield, you can see that it is a little bit different when it comes to that because you have the 13-round mag option or a 10-round mag option. People that are in 10-round limited states, though, are going to have a little trouble with this gun right here, and that is the Hellcat, because the Hellcat only comes with an 11 with a fingertip, and then the 13-round mag as their long mag.
That's just a damn shame right there. I tell you, because that Hellcat is a fun shooting gun.
It is. It is a fun shooting gun. We're going to go shoot those in just a minute. The Sig Sauer and the Hellcat do have some color options. They do have the RMR cut in the slide, RMR
Option.
style cut option in the slide if you want to get that. It is not an RMR cut. When you do it, it's a little bit smaller, so it takes a pistol size.
Yeah, you have to
optic.
get a specific optic
Yes.
for those micros right there, but they are selling them, so they are out there. And it should be noteworthy that that SAS that we got, that's SIG,
Yes.
is basically like an upgraded model. It has that no.
Well, the SAS sight, which means there is no sighting system on this gun. If you take a look here, I'll back it up here to the other slide. If you take a look at this SAS, the top is flat, perfectly flat. You don't see any sights sticking up.
Yes, that one's claim to fame right there. That's what they wanted to go for. No snags.
Well, coming up when we shoot it, let's take a look at that sight and let's see actually how it works compared to what we are used to with standard sights.
Oh yeah.
And the sights are a little bit different in these guns. The SAS has a tube sight in it that has a little fiber optic rod that lights up with ambient lighting. Is there a Trijicon in that one too that keeps it lit at night? There must be.
I'll be honest with you, I'm not entirely sure, but it seems like it when you.
It
look
would
at
have to be if that's the only sighting system you have.
Yeah.
And then you have a standard 3-dot sight on the Smith & Wesson Shield Plus, and then you have a high-vis front sight and a saddle back on the Hellcat.
Yes.
Those are the three options we have right here. So we're looking at these guns for their merit. And what we want to do today is we don't want to look at them from the perspective of how fancy they are. I want to know how easy are they to shoot. And we're going to take a look at, first of all, operation.
Yeah.
We're going to look at function and then trigger. Those are the three things I want to focus on when we go to the range.
Okay.
Okay? So I think we should get ready and we should head out there and maybe go hit the range and see what we can do with these guns out there on the range. Let's do that.
Right.
Okay, so the three guns we're shooting today are the Sig Sauer 365 SAS. Moving over here, we have the Smith & Wesson M&P Shield Plus 9mm. We're going to be shooting some 9mm at the 124 grain from Aguila. And finally, the Hellcat from Springfield Armory.
All right, up first, I have the SIG 365 SAS. Now, the SAS's big claim to fame, other than it's, just a super awesome gun already, is that it's got recessed sights. So it's a little bit different than the normal. Normally you have your sights that kind of come up above the slide. These ones are recessed, and from my understanding, SIG did that with the purpose and the intent so that it's less prone to snags upon draw. Pretty cool. You can also see right here that a lot of the controls are really recessed in. So they put a lot of thought into that, which is really nice. So I'm going to be shooting 5 rounds of Aguila 124 grain. Wow. Okay. 365 SAS. Sights are nice. Don't really have a whole lot to complain about. It's going to take me a little bit of getting used to. I ain't gonna lie there. One thing I didn't like is I wasn't able to drop the slide easily, as it is very recessed right there. And again, I believe that was their intent, to make it less prone to snag, which is cool, but I like to be able to get that thumb drop, and I actually had to rack the slide. Not a big deal for some, but I like having that there. I'm used to having that there. But a nice shooting gun, felt good.
All right, I get to finally shoot the 365 with the SAS sight. I am pretty excited about that. All my pants have a hole in the pocket right where the rear sight digs in, and this one here is nice and smooth over the back side. Pretty excited about what this one looks like. I've never shot this style gun before, so we'll see. Yeah, that sight is unreal. The whole gun blocks the sight. I got to get that better. Here we go. There we go. Finally got it right. It's just so hard to see perfectly. Once you figure out how to get your sight alignment, it works better. I had the sight off. It wasn't centered in there, so it was shooting high. But man, you got to concentrate on this one a little bit more than you would on a standard sight when you're not used to it. Very different, very different. But once I figured it out, I dropped them right in the hole. That is the Smith 6 Hour 365 SAS.
Okay, up next, what I will be shooting is a Smith & Wesson Shield 9mm Plus. Now, we did shoot one of these the other day, but me and Todd both, when we shot it, felt something was a little off with that trigger. So when we got another one in, first thing we checked was the trigger. Totally different. This trigger feels legit the way a trigger's supposed to feel. Contacted Smith & Wesson, they got us squared away real quick. That sucker got sent back and we're waiting for it to come. But customer service was awesome, as expected from Smith & Wesson. So we're gonna give this one a try and see how it feels. Okay, so I believe we had this issue with the last one too. I don't know if it was me or Todd, I'll have to recheck our video, but I believe one of us had an issue with the slide not locking back on its last shot. Did it again right now, but I will say that I really enjoy this trigger. It feels a lot better, the way I expect a trigger to feel. It goes all the way to the back and it doesn't jump forward. That was a problem with the last one. When you hit the wall, you got back to the back and you start to release to get that trigger reset, it just sprung forward. Not with this one, it went up slowly, easily like it's supposed to. So a lot more fun to shoot. A little concerned about that not locking back, but this is the first shot from this gun. Maybe a little bit more work through it, it'll smooth it out.
On my last review, I called this the 2.0 Plus. I got chastised by that, I think by somebody from Springfield. This is the Shield Plus. They're dropping the 2.0. It does have all the features of a 2.0. It's got the better grip. It's got the better stippling. All Smith & Wesson Shields, you cannot drop the slide with a magazine in. It's too tough because these are not made to be dropped by dropping your thumb on the slide stop here. The way it's offset, it's just too difficult. But I noticed when you were shooting the Springfield, boom, it did it real easy. So this one here, I just know because I've had shields now for close to a decade. That's not how you release a slide on these. You have to reach over, pull it back, and bring it up. Oh man, I love that flat trigger. There we go. Nice nice reset. Nice reset. Oh, what a fun gun to shoot. And this one did not slide back lock either. And my thumb was off of the slide lock. It did not lock back. Although it locks back when you pull it back with the... Interesting. This trigger is 1,000 times better than that last shield that we did. 1,000 times better. And that crisp reset, the flat trigger feels so good. Much better. And I want to thank Smith & Wesson for taking the other one back and reworking it. We hopefully get that back and see if it's been improved. But yes, this trigger is miles better than the old shields, and it's much better than the first sample we got of this gun.
All right, last gun I'm going to be shooting today is going to be the Springfield Armory Hellcat. We've shot one of these before, really enjoyed it. I really enjoy the sights on this gun. It's got that bright front sight. I mean, that just draws your attention to that front sight. Enjoyed shooting it before, looking forward to shooting it again right now. Again, we're going to be shooting 124 grain Aguila, so let's give that a shot. Functions as I expected. I do love Springfield. I ain't gonna lie, I am a Glock fanboy, but Springfield makes a great product. Slide lock back on its last shot. Really comfortable to shoot, even for a micro, and I believe that's what these are all classified as, is micros. Even for a micro, it still felt really nice to shoot. I didn't feel a whole lot of pop in my hand. So I enjoyed it, shot pretty well with it, really like it.
This is the one I've been waiting for. The Springfield Hellcat 9mm. Let's take a look at this one, and we'll go from there. 5 rounds, number 2 target. Nice, nice. And the sight is really clear. I like the saddle in the back. Trigger feels wonderful. Nice flat trigger. Let's go. Right down the center. No, what a great reset. I mean, you feel it. Uh-oh. Let's take a look. Maybe it's a light strike. Lock to the rear. Man, that trigger is nice, and that reset was wonderful. Let's take a look at this round here. Light strike. I don't know if it's the ammo or the gun, but of the rounds we shot so far, this one did not fire off. Tap, rack, and roll, baby. Hey, sights are awesome on this gun. This high-vis front sight with this saddle, put them right down the pipe. Let's go take a look at the target. These are my first 2 shots with that SAS sight because I didn't have it lined up. And then the rest of them I put right in the box here. This is the first 2 guns for you. And then when you shot the Hellcat, you killed it right there. Just killed it right there. Let's go back and recap this thing and kind of rate these guns. I think it's going to be an interesting conversation right now.
You know, we can talk about the guns all the time. We can talk about what they look like. We can talk about what they feel like. But until we go out and shoot them, you really don't know what's going on with those things.
Exactly. You have to do that. You got to do your research 100%. But again, like you're saying, you have to put these guns in your hand. You got to do that.
Got to put some powder down that barrel.
Yep.
And doing that, I have a whole new understanding for these 3 guns, and I want to go over each of the guns and the pluses that we found, and the things that we don't like about each one of these guns. Just real quick to recap after we got done shooting.
Okay.
So let's start off with the SAS 365 from Sig Sauer. First of all, I wish it had a flat trigger.
Yes, I give you that.
The gun feels fine. The trigger's not bad. It could be better. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, for sure.
The reset was fine. It was nothing that was noticeable. It was just there. Mm-hmm. I didn't. I felt it, but it just didn't it didn't impress me. But it was there.
Yeah.
But that sight takes some getting used to.
100% agree.
My first shots were high and left, and I thought I was on, and then I couldn't focus down that little tube. And then the gun was blocking the target. So you know what? There is a little bit of plus in the fact that it'll slide in and out of your pocket better.
Yes.
But that sight does not do it. Okay, it's a gadget. Ding, ding, ding. I said it. It's a gadget, and if you like gadgets, then that might be the sight for you. But I just don't trust it.
I'll say this: I had a regular 365. I absolutely loved it. It shot fine. I agree with you on the trigger. Mine had a curved trigger, and at that time I was thinking about upgrading to it. I ended up getting rid of it. It was a great shooting gun, and I liked it a lot with the regular sights. And the regular sights are very comparable to the Hellcat one. They had, I believe it's the X-ray sight that's on their Legion series.
Sure.
And just beaming. I mean, fast sight acquisition. Absolutely loved it. This one, I kind of have to lean towards what you're saying there too. It's kind of like a new thing, and I appreciate that they're trying to do something innovative. Mm-hmm. Like, okay, we want something that's not snag proof, and I'm sure there's a lot of people that really enjoy this. But I am just so used to those iron sights. It would take me a good amount of time to get used to this, and that's something I don't like. Like, I have to kind of retrain myself to do this, where I'm so used to just getting up on my iron sights and running.
Yeah, it's tough when you learn a new style of shooting, and if you're not directly behind that tube, you have no idea where you're pointing that gun.
Yeah. So
that's my thing.
yeah, no, I agree.
Let's move over to the Smith & Wesson Shield Plus.
Okay.
That gun, that trigger, wow. Smith & Wesson finally got it right.
That is a nice trigger.
After all this time, they finally got a trigger that's really worth it.
Yeah, their originals, I won't say garbage, but I don't enjoy them.
Well,
one bit.
that's why Apex trigger systems have been so successful over the years,
Yes,
right?
exactly.
The sights are standard old iron sights. They were just fine. One of the things that we found on these two guns, the SAS 365 and the Plus, is you can't drop the slide with your thumb.
Yeah. That,
Both those two guns.
Yeah, that was a little disappointing for me. Like I said when we're on the range, I like having that ability to do that. If something is going and I need to just do it quick. And with that SAS, it's not like I have the ability to do like a belt rack neither if I had to do a one-handed operation.
It just slides right down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, so I wish that they would have engineered the slide catch on the Shield originally better, because it's an offset slide catch. It's actually behind the button.
Yes.
And no Shield has ever been easy to drop the slide with your thumb.
No.
That's just the way they engineered it there. And of course, you have the ledge in the back. They put the ledge on the back of the sight there that cuts into your pocket, but it's also made to single-handed rack it that way. So I get it, but I do wish that on these guns that are personal defense guns that we could just in and drop the slides.
Exactly. I'm used to that, and I like that operation. Is it a big thing for a lot of people? Nah, each to their own, but I like having it, and I don't like that these don't have that.
The Shield Plus, massive improvement over all Shields before it.
I can stand behind that.
Yep, and it's really come up to the modern day because they brought the 13 round magazine to match with the Hellcat. Now you can get an extended mag for that, but you got to buy it separate for the 365.
Yes. It comes with the flush 10-rounder, and then it comes with the 10-rounder with the pinky extension.
And then they have longer
They
mags.
have the 12-rounder.
12
and
round.
then the 12-rounder I found was absolutely perfect. It felt good in the hand. It was
Sure.
great. The
Made it a little longer grip, huh?
The 15-rounder was like a stick that stuck down. It was, no other way to say it. It looked gaudy.
Yes, exactly.
So
So finally, we have the Springfield Hellcat. There's nothing special about this gun. It does have the high-vis sight on it, but this is their stock gun.
yeah, that's standard for that gun.
Yep.
Just like the SAS, the 365 standard
Yes.
has that X-ray sight on the front end as well.
Yes. So with this gun here, I was really looking forward to it. The grip is a little bit fatter than the other two, the SIG and the Smith. It's a little bit fatter.
I like that.
It liked it for bigger hands. It works out a little bit better.
Exactly.
The trigger, super responsive.
Yes.
And we were more accurate with that gun shooting faster than the other two.
Yeah. I'll tell you what.
It's a beautiful gun.
I hate to make this comparison, and I know I always do.
Is this a Glock fanboy moment?
It is.
Oh my goodness, here comes the
It
Glock
is.
fanboy right now.
But I think one of the reasons why I lean towards that Springfield is because it does have a little bit more of that boxy feel that I'm used to with the Glock.
Sure.
And it feels good in my hand.
Yeah.
It just really feels natural, and I truly enjoyed shooting that gun. I would love to add that to my collection.
Yes. And I think that's the final thing today. If you had a choice and somebody were to say, congratulations, you have your choice of one of 3 guns free today, which one would it be?
It'd be that Hellcat all day long.
I would have to agree with you 100%. That is a dandy of a micro pistol.
I like the price points on these guns too, though.
Yes. Price points wise, I mean, the SIG is, of course, the most expensive.
That one's the SAS model, so that should be noted that is like an upgraded model. So that one right there was, I believe it was $685.
$685, for $550
for the Shield,
for the Shield, and $560.
$569 for the Hellcat.
So $10 difference between the Hellcat and the Shield, and then another $100 because of that SAS sight. But then the other one with the regular sights brings it down to within $20 of the other ones.
I believe it was like within like $40 actually, because that was like the Hellcats thing. They were like about $50 cheaper than.
So then you would have basically $600, $550, and $560,
Somewhere around there.
something like that.
Yeah.
So they're all within the same ballpark range.
Not too far off. Not too far off for the standard ones. But yeah,
Sure.
we did have the SAS.
Well, there you go. Those are the top 3 guns out there for people that would like to conceal carry in the market today. If you take Glock out of the equation, because you got the 42, the 43, you've got the 19X, you got a lot of different options now for these guns.
See, but I think it should be noted the 43 would probably be the closest one that fits with these, and the 43 has a 6-round capacity. If you go with
Yes.
the 43X, you do have the 10-round capacity.
But it's a long grip.
But yeah, I think it takes you out of that micro area. Granted, the shield is probably more closer to the subcompact,
Subcompact, yes.
but we're mostly looking at micros here. And the 43, yes, micro. The 43X, now you're getting longer in the slide, or not in the slide, but longer in the hand grip. So I
Yes.
don't know if I could call that a micro.
Exactly. There you go. Thank you for watching King's Gun Center TV today. This is on the Reviews It channel, and you can subscribe right below. I do want to thank you again for coming on board and helping us work through these gun issues. And we do hope you have a great day. Enjoy yourself, and please be good out there, okay?